everyone, and welcome to the Rachel Freeman Sowers live show. I am Rachel Freeman Sowers, and I'm so happy to have all of you here. I'm going to go in between Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And what I'm most excited about tonight is really helping female entrepreneurs understand, and females, I think in general, women in general, understand what can happen if we continue to muscle through and push through. Now, I'm not saying there isn't a time for that. I've done that myself. There are times in my business when I need to muscle through something, but really the consequences that happen, and we lose sight of ourselves. And I don't know if I'm the only one out here who has done that, but if you have lost sight of yourself at any given point in time, I would love for you to put yes in the comments below, because this is what happens when we get wrapped up in everything around us. And so tonight is really all about rediscovering you and making sure that you continue to be the leader in your own life and be able to experience your life the way that you want it. So I am so happy to have you here. And if you're joining me, please make sure to say hello and tell me where you are joining me from, because sometimes I don't get to see the names on the comments. So we're going to dive right in. And like I said already, I'm wondering how many of you out there have really struggled at times with knowing how to navigate things. And let me explain a little bit more about that. So it's kind of like there was one point in time, and there still continues to be points in time, which is why I'm talking about this again, is I'm really confident. I'm able to do what I need to do. I'm able to have things on task, be ready, just go, go, go. And I feel very good in that space. But then something happens. And when that something happens, it may throw me off guard. I'm like, how come I'm not as confident in this arena, excuse me, as I am in all these other things? I mean, I could do this. How come I can't do this other thing? And a lot of times women feel that way about becoming more bold in the expression of themselves, their businesses, and their missions. And really one of the things, if we want to have a business, it requires us to put ourselves out there. And one of the reasons that women are hesitant that I have heard, and I hear over and over again, which is what brought up this topic, is I've heard again from a woman. She's like, I'm tired of muscling through this. I'm tired of constantly fighting. I'm tired of constantly hanging on to the next thing, to the next thing. And she's like, I'm accomplished. I have education. I have a ton of experience. And yet here I am still in this spot. And so what I want to share with you are the benefits of muscling and pushing through, because there are benefits or we wouldn't do it, the consequences to that, and how a lot of times we really do want to stop this patterned way of being, and then what follows after that but, and how this opportunity to discover and rediscover yourself, what it's really going to provide for you if you're willing to try it out. At the end of this, I also want to have a visualization, which I haven't done in a while. If you watch any of my older videos, I used to do visualization a lot. And I think this is really the perfect time for us to do a visualization and for you to really have that mind, body, spirit connection as you're wanting to rediscover yourself. And maybe you know who you are, but there's areas in your life, everything that we talk about tonight applies. Maybe in your business, you're confident in one part of your business, but this other business, maybe when you're making, offering your services to someone, or maybe when you're sharing about vulnerable moments that have taken part in your life or taken place in your life, maybe it's about how you can really connect with those people that are waiting to hear from you. So let's dive in to the benefits of muscling and pushing through. So I'm just going to, hey, Deb, I love that you're coming on from Facebook. Thanks so much for being here. All right, so here are some of the benefits. I've jotted them down so I don't forget any. Let me just push that paper like that. All right, so here are some of the benefits. When we muscle through and push through, and I'd love to hear if any of this resonates with you, whether you're watching the recording or watching this live, put in the comments, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or even Instagram, if this rings true. So some of the benefits I experience when I go ahead and muscle and push through is I get shit done. Like I'm like, bam, Nothing's stopping me. This is how it is. I got this, right? And it comes with this kind of sass that I love about myself. And it also really makes me feel like I'm accomplished. It makes me feel like I can accomplish anything, right? It makes me feel really strong. Like nothing is going to stand in my way of my goals. So it makes me feel ambitious. It makes me feel worthy. So this is kind of where you get into some vulnerability. You know, getting shit done, pushing through, muscling through makes me feel worthy at times. And I wonder if it's made you feel worthy, because what we're taught so often, or maybe, I don't know if you were taught this, but I was definitely taught this, that maybe the harder something is, or the more you suffer, the more worthy you are to have it, or the bigger your accomplishment is, or the more pain that you've been put through means it's a bigger accomplishment, right? And so when we talk about muscling and pushing through, a lot of times we're doing it at the cost of our feelings. And then I already said, it makes me feel like I can overcome anything. So when I'm having all these feelings, I feel good. My adrenaline is going. I have endorphins going on. I have some feel good stuff being like, yeah, you got this. You're the bomb. You're whatever. You're the boss. All those kinds of things. But then there is a cost to us, to each one of us, if we stay in this space. And I'm wondering what you believe the costs are for you if you were to stay in this space. So these are some of the things I hear from women all the time that equal the consequences of consistently muscling through. So let's start with some kind of maybe obvious, but not so obvious. So your body starts breaking down from consistent release of stress hormones. You get sick easier, your immune system goes down the drain, and you're tired, or you enter into some depression or anxiety. That is a very real thing. The body is saying, I'm tired, I'm slowing you down, right? So we have the body. But then what happens is we really get then driven by the external stimulant that makes us feel all of those things: strong, worthy, accomplished, ambitious, like we're at the top of our game, right? So we then rely on those external stimulants, and we begin to forget who we are because we don't check in with ourselves. We start numbing the body and go into a pattern of unawareness. So when these things happen, it's really about how we start numbing the wise woman within us. Have you ever just kept push it down because you want to forget about it, or you just need to move through, or I don't have time for these emotions, or this is going to stop me, or people are going to think something about me? So then we get into a pattern of not tapping in or listening to our intuition, our bodies, our minds, and even our spirits. So we begin to numb ourselves to the feelings that we don't want to be feeling. We just want to feel ambitious, driven, and confident, and strong, and all of those things. Now, there's nothing wrong with muscling and pushing through, but these consequences are some of the indicators that we are in a patterned way of being that may not turn out to be so helpful in the long run. How many of you know what I'm talking about? I'd love to hear in the comments if you experienced this. So you don't know why things are happening. So a lot of times women are like, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why I can't. I don't know what's stopping me. The I don't know part is really a pattern of shoving down and dulling our senses and our feelings and our emotions to what our wise women within, or your intuition, or your true self is wanting to do. And when we keep severing this connection, it gives us an opportunity to decide whether or not we want to rediscover or discover ourselves maybe for the first time. So in business, this looks like overwhelm. In business, this looks like that rabbit hole of self-deprecation that I talk about. In business, it looks like doubting every decision that you have. You're like, what? I can't choose between a black background and a blue background. What is my problem? It comes down to the tiniest of decisions that we have now depleted our ability to know what is right for us. The other thing is I hear moms and women say all the time, I don't know who I am anymore. And we feel disconnected. And we feel like, well, I do all these things for everyone. I hear it all the time. I do all these things for everyone else. And honestly, I'm tired. I feel like my life is to the service of other people. And I'm not saying don't serve other people. I love serving other people. But I can't serve very long if I'm depleting my own self, if I don't know who I am and what I want. And so it's not so much about getting that feeling from what you do, but it's really the ability to reconnect. So what do? I hear a lot of times women are like, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want these kinds of, I don't want to be this way anymore. Okay, so a lot of them say, I want to stop. I want to figure myself out, but I don't have time. But these people need me. But my work is blah, blah, blah. But I just am having a hard time doing whatever. Or they look to their friends to really tell them what they want and what's best for them. These kinds of ways of being will continue to cause a disalignment in the way that you want to be living your life. And in the long run, if you stay there for too long, it's almost like you then begin to settle. I talked to a woman today and she said, Rachel, I've been doing this for so long in my life. And I'm at this point, and she's older, and she's like, I can't do it anymore. But it makes me feel so guilty when I do. It makes me feel selfish. You know, we've talked a lot about this here on Rachel Freeman Sowers in all the multiple videos that I've done. I think I've done over 500 live and recorded videos now. And really what this is about is changing that pattern way of being. So what is it going to take? What opportunity do you have to take advantage of if you want to discover and or rediscover yourself? If you have been on a journey to rediscovering yourself, maybe you have been in your, let's just say 40s now. I'll use myself as an example. I'm 49, I'm turning 50, and every single week I'm able to discover new things about myself and how I want to be interacting in the world. This really keeps me out of fear and scarcity. It keeps me out of worry. It keeps me out of high anxiety. You may not know this if you're new here to the show, but I have suffered from anxiety for several years of my life. I've always been a highly sensitive individual, a highly sensitive person. You know, there have been ways of learning that I need to learn differently. There's other things that are just how I have come into the world, and honestly, that are my gifts and my superpowers now that I have learned about them. But in order to discover and rediscover these things, I needed to sit in discomfort. We need to be able to sit in the discomfort of what we may see and what we may realize about ourselves. Now, this discomfort doesn't mean that anything about you. Like I have dark sides. I go down rabbit holes sometimes. And if I don't know about that and honor that about myself, I then am less aware of what's happening. And I can't say, instead of why is this happening, I can say, what do I want instead, right? That's how I know. That's the awareness, right? I sit in discomfort. And I say this a lot to my clients. And I asked one of my clients, it's like, what do you think women need to know if they want to be working with me? And she said, first of all, they have to know that they're ready because you're going to take them to where they want to go. She says, but second of all, it's kind of like they have to be able to know their emotions and be able to see their emotions and move anyway with you, and trust that you're guiding them to this right place. And this is something that I love doing because I've had 18 years of dealing with emotions and helping people move through those blocks or those emotions that are just stuck in the body or the mind or the spirit, and be able to move through those. So you have to be okay with the unknown. You have to be okay with not knowing. Then that's when you're okay with the unknowing, it's like trusting yourself and the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter to me. But when you're okay with the unknown, it really allows you, like I've been saying so often here recently, it really allows you to play with the possibilities that are coming to you, that are out there that you might not be seeing because you may be resisting or you may be numbing. The other thing is that you need to reacquaint yourself with your own knowing. That's what then builds in the trust. So the benefits of rediscovering or discovering yourself as you are now is that it reduces self-doubt, majorly reduces self-doubt, majorly reduces low self-esteem. It highly, highly increases the trust you have in the way that you make decisions and the direction that you want to go. When 2020 happened, when COVID happened, people needed to make a decision whether they're going to stay in this business niche or whether they're going to pivot. I decided to pivot. And I had to know about myself when I wanted to make that pivot. That's what's helped me be successful and feel less anxious and more excited about the possibility of what was going to happen. It decreases the need for external stimulants. You're not always asking your friend what is right for you, what they think. Now, I don't want to say you don't get support from your friends, but this morning I drew a card because I was searching for some answers and I wanted to tune into the wise one within me. And the card said, like, now is the time for you to trust yourself. Now is the time for you to look within and know exactly your desires and your intention. It also massively increases the love for self. And I'm not talking just about, oh, I love myself. But what I'm talking about is I see all of me. I honor all of me. I reacquaint myself with pleasure, with sexual pleasure, with intimate pleasure, with fun, with moving the body. All of those kinds of things are really part of loving yourself. And then ultimately what you get is you get to live a life that's fulfilling. Now, I'm not going to say that you're always going to be happy, because I cannot say that. I don't know if you're always going to be happy. I am not always happy. There's some reality for you. But what I can say is that I live a fulfilled life. That when I know what is the right thing for me to do, I course correct really quickly, and I don't stay in a life that I'm wondering if I'm missing out. I don't stay in a state of anxiety or depression. Those things will come as female entrepreneurs. If you didn't watch my IG live this morning, I want to encourage you to go and check that out, because we talked about, or maybe it was yesterday, I can't remember, but we talked about how mental health is so prevalent. Anxiety, depression, loneliness, all of these things are so prevalent in entrepreneurs. And there's a reason for that. So when I know myself, when I rediscover and I stay within myself, I live more fulfilled life, and I actually become the leader of my own life. And what that means is that decisions are easier. So if you've been struggling with any of this, I would love for you to even reach out to me through the DMs and just say, I've been struggling with this. If you want to get some support about that, I'm more than happy to talk with you. If you're looking and you're saying in your business or just in general, you're not feeling like you know yourself anymore, as a female entrepreneur, your business will expand if you know yourself better. And when you learn how to go in between or know what is fear and what is your intuition, right? When we stop numbing all of those things because we just can't handle one more thing. So today or tonight, I want to take you through a visualization. And it's just going to be a really short one, probably 2 to 3 minutes. But really, what I would love for you to experience during this visualization is for you to be able to feel in your body, see with your mind and your heart what knowing yourself, what discovering or rediscovering yourself would feel like. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm just going to ask you to get in a comfortable position and ask you to take a deep breath. Just inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Feel the shoulders drop automatically. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Nice deep inhale, expansion of the belly. And exhale through the mouth. Now I want you just to go inside of yourself, and maybe not so much the mind, but the heart. And just take a minute to reacquaint yourself with this special space within you. And if your mind has thoughts, let them come and let them go. There's no worry about that. Just return back to the focus on your heart. Feel it pumping. Express gratitude for everything it does for you every single day. How it allows you to live your life. How it fuels the body by pumping blood throughout it to keep us alive. And what I'd like you to do right now is, I wonder what it would look like for you in your mind's eye, visualizing what it would look like for you to know yourself. What does it feel like to not have any self-doubt? To know that every decision you make is the right one? To know that when you decide on something, it is the exact right time? Whether it's saying yes or saying no or maybe, it doesn't matter. What is your level of relief of just knowing that you don't need to worry so much? Maybe you go to a special place to just tap into your wise one within, or your inner knowing, your intuition. Think about the last time that you knew something so well that you were able to continue to be the leader in your own life. Maybe there was a time that you knew exactly what was right for you when someone else told you to do something different. Maybe it was directions going in one certain way and you knew that that was the way to go. Or when you trusted yourself for a pricing on a product. Or maybe deciding who you want to be working with. What does it feel like to let go of the shame? Maybe some embarrassment. Not having to worry or judge yourself or worry about other people judging you. What would you be doing today if you were able to do what you wanted to do, what you knew was right for you? What would you do right now? Picture that. Would you go on a trip to the ocean? Would you be able to look at yourself in the mirror and like what you see? Would you be able to have healthy boundaries and not feel selfish? Would you be able to attract and make the money you want to be making? what would happen? Imagine it now. And capture that feeling within the imagination of whatever you're doing. Get that feeling in every cell of the body. And what I'd like you to do now is just express gratitude for the moments that you've had to just reflect. For the wise one within you, your intuition, God guiding you, allowing you to rediscover yourself just for a moment. Expressing gratitude and taking one inhale through the nose and exhaling through the mouth and opening your eyes when you're ready. And just put in the comments if you're back with me. This visualization is something that can be used at any moment in self-doubt. This visualization, that's really short, I think we did about 3 minutes. What it can allow you to do is absolutely tune in to the wise woman within you that knows exactly what you need to be doing. And the more that you tune into her, the more that you trust that, because she knows. You know, if you're tapping into her and not the fear, she knows exactly what needs to be happening. And this is kind of the tool that I use to guide myself throughout my business. Today, I was guided again through more ways of becoming more of myself on video, becoming more of myself in the online world, and not feeling ashamed or self-doubt or if I'm going to be successful. But it's just knowing what my business needs and the direction it needs to go. Because what I am about is helping women know themselves, female entrepreneurs know themselves so well that you can be more bold in the expression of your business, your mission, and your life, right? Of yourself without any of the self-doubt and fear. And if that comes, it comes and then it goes. But you stay within the knowing. So I would love to know if you have found this helpful. If you have, please make sure to put it in the comments, whether you're watching the live or recording. This was something that's been on my heart recently because I am definitely checking into myself more. I teach my clients how to do that. It's the thing that makes them the most successful and the most satisfied no matter what is happening. And it really is how we can liberate ourselves and create this freedom that I know a lot of women are searching for and are waiting for. So if you didn't catch everything about this video, please make sure to go and watch from the beginning, and make sure to check out any other videos that are on my YouTube channel at Rachel Freeman Sowers. You can just look it up in the search bar of YouTube. If you are wanting to become more bold in the expression of your business, your mission, and yourself in the online world and with video, I would love to speak with you. You can feel free to DM me and reach out to me. Please share this video if you think that you have friends or other people who would benefit from having this information. The easiest way for people to help me move through my business is to share this information with others. So I'm going to wrap it up, and I'll say as the same thing as I say at the end of every single video. Make sure to stay true to yourself, be kind to others, and always, always, always honor the wise one that is within you. I hope to see you all next week on the RFS Live Show. Bye.